Hey guys, and welcome to another Batman discussion video. This should be discussion number 3. So if you didn't know, a new Batman trailer was shown off at E3 this year, showing off a lot of the gameplay and actually revealing Scarecrow's face. I did mention this and I talked about it a little bit in my Sony press conference video, but I would like to go into deeper detail with this. Got some stuff to talk about. So when the trailer first starts off, you can see that the graphics are amazing looking. Now, the graphics always looked really good in the Arkham games, but they look especially good in this one, especially like the way Batman's cape looks, and you could just look at it and you could see the texture and you could just feel it. I apologize in advance for the quality. I actually recorded this myself from the PlayStation press conference. I tried looking online for a better trailer. I could not find one, so I apologize for that. Gotham City looks huge. As you can see, Batman sitting on this perch looking across Gotham City. It is giant. It kind of intimidating with how big it is. Like, just, you know, they make up for it with your mobility, being able to get around. You now have a Batmobile to get from point A to point B. You don't have to, you know, walk or hop on that 210, take the bus, the Bat bus. So Gotham City looks really huge. If you check out Batman's gliding, look how fast he moves now compared to how he used to move. He moves a lot faster than he did in Arkham City. Because I remember in Arkham City, when you glide, you'd move fast, but it was like a steady pace, like sexual harassment panda. Like, you just kind of strolled along. But now the gliding, you actually get places, and you're really fast. As you can see Batman dive bombing to the floor, you can see that he places a marker on the floor where the Batmobile has to pick him up. So I'm not sure if there's specific spots the Batmobile can pick you up, or if you can place a marker in specific areas that the Batmobile can come up, because it would be kind of silly if you can like place a marker in an alleyway and then the Batmobile just starts clipping all through the building. So you can place a marker and the Batmobile will come up. It has a really smooth transition of you just jumping straight in the air and landing right in the Batmobile, and then there you go, now you're driving in the Batmobile. The Batmobile looks very maneuverable, even though it's a very large vehicle. Now, as you can see in the trailer, you can see that he's drifting and sliding all over the place, making like... I'm sorry, my nose is stopped up this morning for some reason. Making these like very nice turns and dipping through courtyards and stuff. So it's really nice to see that the Batman isn't a giant brick, you know, and it controls like the Metal Gear Solid vehicles, because those are some stiff ass vehicles. I already explained that you can drift. There's also, it looks like there's a boost button that you can press to give you a make you go a bit faster. You can also transition from the normal Batmobile to like a tank Batmobile. Now, I'm not sure if this is manual or automatic once you get in contact with certain enemy vehicles, because you never know, if you come across like an enemy tank or an enemy convoy, the game might automatically switch you into tank mode because you have to fight them, like, you know, just in the, you know, you're in the vicinity, so you transform in the tank mode. It has to do the long ass animation of the car doing the Transformers thing. I'm not sure if that's manual. Like, it has to be manual, because that would just be silly that, you know, every time you come across a convoy, you're like, fuck, it's tank time. When, you know, say you just want to continue with the game and you're not worried about these criminals, you need to just boost on by, or maybe you transform to the tank and then once you get out of a certain area, then you transform back into the car. I'm not sure, but we'll see as that comes out. The Batmobile's mobility changes drastically when he's in tank mode. He can now move, not only can he move forward and back, he can also move side to side now, left and right. And he also has some sort of quick sidestep to get out of the way of enemy fire, which is kind of weird. Kind of reminds me of those like mech games when you're like tearing up and then you can just quick dash to the left or the right. Kind of like Zone of the Enders. It kind of reminds me of that a bit. I don't know why, but just the way it moves and it dashes really fast. When I first saw it, the way it moved, it kind of reminded me of like a baby in a walker, you know? Like how like the legs kind of stand up and kind of swayed side to side, but, you know, less babies aren't coordinated, so you get what I mean. Bat babies. After the fight, his car then, the Batmobile then transforms back to a Batmobile, and it does sort of a peel out animation. I'm not sure if that's how it happens every time you finish a fight and transform back, or maybe the dude playing was just trying to show off that you can do this. But he then does peel out and ejects from the Batmobile and transitions from the car into Batman gliding. It's a really smooth animation, just as smooth as getting in is just as smooth as getting out. I just wonder what the Batmobile does when you're not around. Does it kind of just drive around? Does it park and just wait for you to activate? Like, I can't remember which Batman movie it was, but I think it was Batman Returns. I can't remember. It was one of the older Batmans where the Batmobile just kind of constantly drove around until he needed it, and then it came to him. Or it might park and put up an armored shield. I'm not sure. It didn't really show it. He just kind of ejects and then goes on his merry way. It kind of looks like the Batmobile is going towards like there was like a lake or something there. Like it was going off course. It was going off the road. But I don't know. Maybe it sits there. Maybe it just disappears. I don't know. It's whatever they want to do, right? I'm sure they'll figure it out. Now Batman's combat. Now, I'm sorry that the quality for this looks really bad, but there's a lot of movement and that bitrate was just killing me. But, Batman's combat looks a lot more precise instead of button mashing like it used to be before button mashing. Button mashy. I'm sorry. I know that you could play Batman very strategically with the fighting, but you know everybody just mashed that square button till something died, you know? But the only time you would actually be a little more strategic is with the timing of your counters. Now, as you can see in the fighting, Batman, when he switched from one target to the next, the time kind of slowed down as the camera turned to that character and he jumped on him and started, beating the hell out of him. I'm not sure if that's like more of a transition to kind of make sure you dodge gunfire because the guy was shooting at him, or maybe time slows down a bit when you pick a target to do a takedown on. Because I know one problem I had with previous Batman games is I would always try to save my takedown for an enemy that had a weapon to get him out of the picture very fast. But I don't know, 5-6 times out of 10, I would accidentally take down the wrong guy. So maybe it slows down time to give you the chance to actually pick the target you want to take down. But I would always mash out that takedown button, like just kind of aim it and hope for the best to keep my combo meter high. Now, the last thing I'd like to talk about, well, not the last thing, but one of the final things I'd like to talk about is now Scarecrow's appearance. Now, I talked about him a little bit in my press conference video, but I'd like to talk more about him right now. This is the first time myself that the Scarecrow actually looks scary to me. He's always been sort of just a Halloween goofy style to me. Like Toys R Us kids costume scary to me. Like he's always been just kind of like a weenie. Like not even though he's an enemy that's known to not fight Batman physically, but he can take Batman mentally with his nightmare gas. I never really could look at him and be like, yep, this guy is scary. Like, he just seemed like a joke to me when I was younger and now. Like I always thought of Scarecrow as just like a minor type guy, like that just kind of, he was more of an annoyance than an actual threat, even though he is a threat. That's how I felt. I felt that Batman just didn't have that hard of a time dealing with him whenever they had rendezvous and stuff. But you can see that they have like a close-up picture, like a video of his face, and his face is all screwed up. It's like half zombified. Now, this game takes place, I think they said it's a year after Arkham City, which means Arkham Asylum happened, which means Scarecrow has changed from what he used to look like to what he looks like now. Now, I'm wondering if the way he looks now is just, a cover-up with his nightmare gas. Maybe he has like a nightmare deodorant that makes him, you know what I mean, like a spray that just makes his appearance more frightening to people. Maybe something happened in the year that all this happened, and his face is screwed up, and then that just adds to his whole kind of freaky scariness. Like, what happened to Scarecrow's face? What happened to Scarecrow's face that gives him that appearance, like with his eye looks like he's blind, like he looks like a zombie skeleton thing. And I'm actually really looking forward to having my questions answered about him when the game actually releases. Now, this is the actual last thing I'd like to talk about, is a viewer on Facebook, thank you very much by the way, sent me an article that the Xbox store accidentally slipped the release date for Arkham Knight. I was about to say Arkham Asylum. Accidentally slipped the release date for Arkham Knight. It has a February 24th, 2015 release date. I have a screenshot that someone put on NeoGAF of the web page from Microsoft's website, xbox.com. Now, I checked the website myself, and it's not there anymore. It says release date. You know what? Let me go look right now. It says release date not announced. So as you can see right here, I took a screenshot of it. They took it down. It could have been a joke. You know, maybe someone was trolling and edited that and put it up on the internet. Maybe somebody at Microsoft screwed up and put the date up. But now we have sort of an idea of when the game might be coming out. I also read that Kevin Conroy, which is the voice of Batman, revealed in an interview that the game should be coming out in I was about to say July. July is next month. You wish it came out that early. Crazy ass. He said that the game actually has a set date somewhere in January. So now that there's a reveal that it comes out in February, that's really close to January. So now you can tell that Arkham Knight will be coming out very early in 2015. So guys, that's all I have to say about the Batman Arkham Knight E3 trailer. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I have a lot of fun making these videos because I really enjoy seeing what you guys have to say about the trailers. What do you guys think about the Batmobile? Do you like how it can transform into a tank? I had no idea until they revealed this whole tank thing at E3. I thought it was just a vehicle that when people got close, you blew them up and you just kind of drove around and ran stuff over. And now it's got a whole friggin' tank mode. I honestly think it's kind of weird that Batman's all about not killing people, but he's got some big ass tank. Unless like he's using big rubber bullets or I don't know. But I think that's a little weird. What do you guys think about the whole tank thing? How do you guys feel about Scarecrow's appearance? Do you think there's a story behind the way he looks, or is that just his little ruse that he's going along to stay on the whole fearful, you know, make himself scary? Are you guys surprised that there wasn't any Arkham Knight in this trailer at all? He wasn't even mentioned. You didn't see him, you didn't hear from him, nothing. It's like he doesn't even exist in this trailer. They showed Penguin for a second, but cares about that guy, right? Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to read it. I'd love to have a discussion. Thank you for joining me for this, and look forward to more Batman stuff as they become available.
Bye. Bye, bye, bye.